Hello everyone and welcome to my Sister Wives Gossip. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. RHOBH Kyle Richards nearly gets in fistfight on street. A shocking video shows RHOBH star Kyle Richards nearly getting into a fistfight on the street during a tense confrontation. Fans of the show were taken aback by Kyle's aggressive behavior. Keep reading to find out what causes the clash and see the footage. Kyle Richards in hot seat during season 14 reunion. Kyle Richards is the last original cast member of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The show premiered in 2010, and for 13 seasons, viewers saw the good and bad in Kyle's life. But that changed for the recently finished 14th season. While Kyle Richards was open about her surprising separation from her husband, Mauricio Umansky, she no longer wanted to discuss one topic: what's really going on with her and country singer Morgan Wade. The two sparked major speculation last season when Morgan made a handful of appearances on the Bravo show. Furthermore, Kyle starred in the singer's music video for the song Fall in Love with Me. The video teased the two getting close and almost locking lips. But mysteriously, Kyle Richards refused to talk about Morgan during season 14. In fact, she didn't even want to say the singer's name. Kyle said that Morgan became uncomfortable in the spotlight and no longer wanted to be involved in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That didn't sit right with some of her co-stars and viewers. Garcelle Beauvais, who abruptly quit the show after season 14 wrapped, called Kyle out for refusing to talk about Morgan Wade. Kyle Richards and Dorit Kemsley also battled it out during the first two parts of the reunion. The third and final reunion episode airs on Bravo on Tuesday, April 15, and can be streamed on Peacock the next day. See moment: RHOBH star nearly got in a fist fight. With her co-stars coming at her from all sides, it's not surprising that Kyle Richards is at her breaking point. A shocking video captured the RHOBH star nearly getting into a fist fight on the streets of Los Angeles. What happened? According to TMZ, Kyle allegedly confronted a woman who was walking her dogs. The reality star immediately began filming the interaction, but got an unexpected reaction from the stranger. The video shows the woman angrily ripping her scarf off her neck and aggressively approaching Kyle, who takes a step back. Her friend and former co-star, Teddy Mellencamp, was also present during the confrontation. Teddy revealed earlier this year that she has stage 4 cancer with multiple brain tumors. The confrontation allegedly began when Kyle saw the woman drag one of the dogs while crossing the street. Some fans praised her for intervening on the dog's behalf. However, others slammed her for not minding her own business. It was supposed to be a glamorous night filled with culture, cocktails, and charity, but things took a shockingly violent turn when the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards found herself nearly throwing punches during a vicious screaming match that left her castmates and fans stunned. The drama unfolded at a high-profile Beverly Hills event hosted by new housewife sensation Cassandra Valles, an edgy fashion entrepreneur known for her no-nonsense attitude and sharp tongue. With cameras rolling and diamonds glinting under the chandeliers of a ritzy Sunset Boulevard ballroom, no one could have predicted the chaos that would erupt before dessert was even served. It started with a whisper. Tensions had already been simmering between Kyle and Cassandra for weeks. According to insiders, Cassandra felt Kyle was clinging to the past and manipulating the group dynamic with her legacy status. Kyle, on the other hand, felt Cassandra was thirsty for relevance and disrespecting the foundation of the show. The tension was undeniable, but no one anticipated just how far it would spiral. At the event, Kyle arrived wearing a stunning gold gown and her signature long brunette locks pulled into a high ponytail. She was all smiles at first, but those smiles quickly faded when she overheard Cassandra whispering with Erica Jane near the champagne fountain. According to several eyewitnesses, Cassandra allegedly said, "Kyle's not the queen bee anymore. She's just a has-been with a broken marriage and no storyline." That was the match to the fuse. The moment it blew up, Kyle wasted no time confronting Cassandra. Cameras captured Kyle storming across the ballroom in stilettos with fire in her eyes and a drink still in hand. "Say it to my face, Cassandra," Kyle barked, interrupting conversations left and right as guests looked on in turn slowly and smirked. "Oh, are you finally ready to be honest about your life, Kyle? Or are we still playing poor me while blaming everyone else for your marriage problems?" Gasps rippled through the room. Dorrit clasped her pearls. Arcel muttered, "Here we go," and Lisa Rinna, back for a cameo, literally ducked behind a centerpiece. Kyle's response was immediate and explosive. "You do not get to talk about my marriage, especially when the only relationship you have is with your mirror," she snapped, pointing a perfectly manicured finger in Cassandra's face. The heat escalated rapidly. Voices raised, fingers wagged, and then, in a moment that RHOBH history will never forget, Cassandra called Kyle a washed-up hypocrite riding Mauricio's shadow. That's when Kyle dropped her drink. Nearly thrown hands, Kyle was shaking, an on-set producer later revealed. She was red, her hands were clenched. She looked ready to throw down. "I honestly thought she was about to swing." According to multiple eyewitnesses, Kyle took a step forward and raised her arm. It was only Garcelle's quick reflexes that stopped the situation from turning physical. She leaped between them, shouting, "No one is getting arrested tonight." Even Erica, known for her own fiery confrontations, looked uneasy. "I've never seen Kyle like that. She was at a breaking point," she said in a confessional tape later that night. Security quickly intervened as Cassandra, smirking the entire time, calmly adjusted her dress and dared Kyle to do something, honey. Kyle, breathing heavily, backed off, but not without getting in one last cutting remark. "You're not even worth the broken nail it would take." Aftermath and fallout. The incident sent shockwaves through the RHOBH cast and fanbase. Social media lit up with hashtags like #KyleSnaps, #CassandraToss, and #BeverlyBrawl. Bravo producers were reportedly in emergency meetings to decide whether to air the uncut footage or blur it out for legal reasons. Backstage sources say Kyle was escorted out shortly after the confrontation and refused to film any further that evening. Cassandra, on the other hand, stayed and continued to throw shade in interviews, claiming Kyle finally showed her true colors. Mauricio, who has been navigating a difficult separation from Kyle, issued no public comment, but sources close to the family say he was deeply disturbed by the footage and worried about Kyle's emotional state. Kyle herself released a brief statement on Instagram the next day, writing, "Last night was not my proudest moment. I've been under a lot of pressure personally and emotionally, and I let it boil over. I don't condone violence, but I also won't allow my family or marriage to be weaponized for entertainment. I'm taking time to reflect." Housewives react. The rest of the cast had plenty to say, and Bravo cameras were there to capture every bit. "Garcelle, I get why Kyle lost it. You can only be poked so many times before you snap. But Cassandra is playing with fire." Dorrit, "It was ugly, darling. Truly ugly. Kyle was a split second away from decking her, and I wouldn't have blamed her one bit." Erica, "Look, I know rage. I've lived it. But Kyle's got to be careful. There are legal consequences when you get physical." Sutton, "Cassandra is clearly stirring the pot, but Kyle nearly hitting her. That's not the Kyle I know. Something deeper's going on. What's next?" Bravo insiders say the footage will air mid-season as part of a dramatic turning point for Kyle's storyline, which has already been heavy with tension around her separation, identity shift, and family dynamics. The near fight reportedly caused a serious rift in the group, with filming suspended for 2 days to let emotions cool. Cassandra is rumored to be loving the spotlight and has already landed a guest appearance on Watch What Happens Live to discuss the incident, while Kyle declined to appear. Fans are torn. Some say Cassandra had it coming and Kyle deserved to defend herself, while others believe Kyle crossed the line and needs to step away from the show if she's that emotionally unstable. final word. For a woman who's been a RHOBH staple since season 1, Kyle Richards has weathered plenty of storms. But this explosive confrontation may mark the most raw and unfiltered version of her yet. The near fight has revealed a side of Kyle that fans have never seen: vulnerable, volatile, and fiercely protective of her personal truth.